Ladies and gentlemen, the very next speaker amongst us is going to be joining on stage to address all of you with his immense amount of knowledge, the dynamic personality he carries. Let me tell you, pursuing leadership roles at institutional building through challenging assignments involving teamwork, serving as the principal of SJB Institute of Technology, SJB-IT, BTS Health and Education City, Bengaluru South. Served as the Dean and Professor of BTS School of Architecture and Planning, BGSSAP, BGS Knowledge City, Bengaluru South. From November 16, 2014 till November 11, 2020. Serving as a standing appellate committee member, the apex body All India Council of Technical Education, AICTE, from March 2018 till date. Serving as an honorary secretary of GEM ASSOCHAM, the Associate Chambers of Commerce and Industry of India, Karnataka chapter from June 2020 till date, serving as a special invitee, Board of Studies Architecture, Vishveshwaraya Technology University, Belgaum, VTU, Karnataka for January 2016 till date. Served as a Chairman, Board of Examination Architecture, Vishveshwaraya Technology University of Belgaum from 2015 till 2016. Serving as the member, National Board of Architecture Education, the Indian Institute of Architects, IIA, from March 2015 till date. Served as the executive member of Karnataka chapter, the Indian Institute of Architects, IIA, from February 2015 to 2018. Serving as a Board of Studies member, University of Mysore School of Planning and Architecture, from Manasango Gotri campus, Mysuru, from March 2019 till date. Serving as a PhD examiner, University of Mysore School of Planning and Architecture of Managotri campus, Mysuru, from February 2018 till date. And ladies and gentlemen, amongst us, our very next speaker, Professor Dr. Ajay Chandran CK, sir, from SJB Institute of Technology. Indeed, it is my pleasure to invite him because he is my inspiration. With a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome him on stage. Thank you for being amongst us and gracing this morning, sir. And I know now you're going to rock it.
A blessed day, respected stalwarts, dignitaries, gurus. Ivattu Gurudina. On the Gurudina, I am able to interact with each one of you. It is a blessed day. I am able to have this opportunity mainly because of Begin Up, Dr. Anand G. Nayak. First of all, congratulations to all the leadership who are receiving the awards for the day. This is a recognition worth celebrating for each one of you who have been identified for the function. This gives you immense support to your ecosystem, your institutions, your roles and responsibilities. When I look at this award, Educational Excellence, Season 2021, each one of us always look at the pursuit of excellence, whatever little we do on a day-to-day basis. Today, I was just hearing to the first speaker who emphasized on research. Ladies and gentlemen, today when we look at all these aspects, we get charged. We feel we should be adding value to our systems. When I was going through the dignitaries list, starting with Professor Rajay Vijay sir, we had a powerful presentation from Dr. Rajiv Gowda sir about NEP. I'm an ardent fan of our beloved Prime Minister. He has given us wings to fly with respect to the NEP. Respected architect, senior architect, past president, Indian Institute of Architects, Architect H.C. Timmaiya sir, we look up to him for his guidance in the profession of architecture, built environment. And my senior colleague, Dr. Subramanya sir, representing the prestigious RVC. We have amongst us Dr. Srikanteshwara Swami. Sir represents research with respect to Government of Karnataka's initiation, with GST and whole lot of professional bodies constituted by the government to support the research. Amongst us, we have Dr. Rekha Jetty Madam, a senior academician in the field of architecture planning. I'm sure a galaxy of achievers, galaxy of gurus. Krishnam Vande Jagat Guru. We look up to the scriptures, we look up to the ethos, we look up to the knowledge bank this Bharatkhanda has offered. Bharatam is a concept beyond words. It's a concept where we derive the strength from. With NEP, we look at global in outlook, local in context. A whole lot of possibilities for any policy, wherever we initiate, a whole lot of transition, whole lot of refinement on the way. It will happen. It is a combined effort. It's a consensus. It's a shared vision. Everybody has to offer. It will evolve. Like predecessors, these aspects also will enrich the overall academics. Today, in the morning, I was just looking at what is the possibility of topics to be discussed with such luminaries. You're all achievers, you're all leadership representing your own institution. I am lucky to be part of such a great organization. I represent Adi Chunchanagiri Shikshana Trust. Our MUT, Adi Chunchanagiri MUT, run more than 500 plus institutions, 4 engineering college, 2 medical college, 2 architecture, whole lot of educational system. Like many of you are representing glorious institutions, we are also part of such glorious institutions. Each one of us look at academics much beyond a passion. Many of us have a role much beyond the prescribed roles and responsibilities. You are catalyst for the change. Change is inevitable. Today, I'm sure we'll have a whole lot of perspectives emerging. Each perspective will add to our thinking. We are as good like our thinking. Because collectively and individually, we add value to the system. The government machinery becomes the facilitator. When I say government machinery becomes the facilitator, each and every system where we are part of always grapples with various challenges. Challenges, namely the nucleus, the cell. As you are all aware, institutions are not made by bricks and mortar. I'm part of architecture and built environment, so we always define as the ecosystem as physical infrastructure, but I am very sure you all will agree that institutions are not defined by physical infrastructure. It is about the people, it's about the thinking, it's about the values, it is about the ethics. We are looking at how to skill our students. We are training them for the future. The future is unknown. If the guru is the nucleus of the system, educational system, right from kindergarten to higher education, to the so-called postdoctoral studies or doctoral studies, the nucleus of the system will be learning, will be motivation, will be the kind of interaction which we offer to all the parties involved. We have all kinds of accreditations. We have NAC, we have NBA, we have regulatory bodies, affiliating bodies. Regulatory bodies like MCI, AICT, Council of Architecture, whole lot of bodies. We have accreditation bodies. In short, our journey, every day is a brand new day. Every day, we are looking at the pursuit of excellence. Every institution is looking at development. The development, for me, personally, is nothing but growth plus change. A country of 1.3 billion people, possibilities. How much of it is covered in the formal education drive? To what extent we can serve the society? Each and every organization is like a corporation. An institution is self-sufficient, self-standing, sustainable. Imagine the taxpayers' money are invested in the social capital, namely the government institution. One fine morning, we asked them suddenly to become self-sufficient. You can understand the challenges. For a private organization, you have to be economically sustainable, socially sustainable, environmentally sustainable, technologically sustainable, whole lot of challenges. These are nothing new for each one of you. You're all leadership representing your organization. Everybody has many insights to offer. That is the importance, very relevance of today's conference and discussions, along with the celebration of identified experts from the industry. I will call it academic industry. All the time we are looking at how to bridge the gap between the industry and academia. Can we call it academic industry? With the right thought, socially relevant. Industry means we are always following certain standards. We have arrived from the industry. We are following processes. It is arrived from the industry. Nothing wrong. Less is more. In the meantime, we have to serve the maximum. At least in our country. First, let us think to serve this country, length and breadth of this country in terms of education. Then let us attract students from the rest of the world. We are part of the service sector. We are exporting people throughout the world. We are trying to build our nation internally. Atmanirbhar Bharat. We are going through those changes. Shraddha and Saburi. Usually when we talk about Shraddha and Saburi, morning, rightly coined by the first speaker, patience, Shraddha and Saburi. Along with patience, we all are affirmed with conviction. Bharatam should become a Vishwa Guru in the process. We were talking about Nalanda. We were talking about our knowledge system. What happened to those knowledge system? Where are we today? We have a recorded history of more than 5,000 years. Many of these time-tested models are far refined in the historical perspective itself, offering goodness to the world. So what happened to those knowledge base? What happens to those policies, process? Motivation for our young minds, right from elementary education to higher education, And from there, are we looking at knowledge? Knowledge along with skills. What are the skills for the future? What is that the whole world is projecting in terms of possibilities, opportunities? Whether our curriculum address those possibilities. We are all looking at skills, hand-holding. Each one of us motivate the fellow students or researchers, the future leadership. You are the leaders of today, training the leadership of tomorrow. Each and every organization where you are party to it looks at these challenges and many more challenges which I am not able to comprehend in this discussion. If we are motivating the students, are we molding them in the way they wish to get molded? What is their aim in life? Are they too early to understand their aim in life with respect to their profession, with respect to their choice of learning? Education is their fundamental right, yes. If it is a fundamental right, individually, what are they aspiring? What they wish to become? Whether our education and education system is helping them to achieve what they wish to become. We have seen mass recruitments for a particular profile. We are sending them, happily sending them for mass recruitment and showing numbers, showing CTCs. What happens to their dreams? Are we converting them? A particular stream getting converted into something else in the journey. So what happens to their passion? What happens to the teaching and learning process in our schools, our institution? A whole lot of challenges, I'm sure. A day like today, when we are discussing with each other, when we are knowing each other, when we are sharing perspectives with each other, whole lot of thinking will happen, and thinking will translate into actions and policies within our domain. NEP also is such an opportunity. Multiple exit systems. Native language has been included for those who aspire to do so. So it's a helping hand. Every policy is acquired over years. As a country, we have followed usually the UK and US system. There are a whole lot of other systems around. We can explore. We are open to the possibilities. We are looking at leadership in academics. How do we motivate young teachers? How do we motivate people? Industry is also quite growing. If the actual industry is growing and attracting talents, how do we attract talents in academia? How do you retain them? What are the qualities required for the futuristic league of teachers? We are looking at multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary, much beyond. We are looking at entrepreneurship. How can a teacher train somebody if he or she is not even an entrepreneur? How can he cultivate or she cultivate entrepreneurship in students? The leadership of industry looks at always we have been keep on learning from the industry that most of our students are not able to fit into the industry. We have been hearing this from last 20 years, 15 years. How long we can keep on saying this? What is the remedy? What's the course of action? Time is not very far where we have to guarantee the students, yes, you go through this drill of academics, you are fairly placed for your future. A common minimum guarantee system should come even in academics. We cannot say that, yes, you are knowledgeable, after that you figure it out. No. We have to assume leadership, assume responsibility. I'm sure each one of us are looking at it. Most of the institutions, I know most of the institutions, they're all looking at it. How effective is our teaching learning? Whether we are relevant to the future. Every year, can we add on fine tweaking of our syllabus? NEP is looking at every institution as a degree granting institution. Not everybody is in that quality benchmarks, but everybody is moving towards the directions. The intentions are good. As a policy, yes, whole lot of policies are favorable. How many teachers are required? Everywhere we have shortage of talents. In any domain, you ask for it. We want good doctors, we want good nurses, we want good architects, we want good engineers. Everywhere there is acute shortage. What are we going to do for that? We know there is a shortage. We want skill upgradation. What level of upgradation? So every domain, every teacher has to look into these things. They can bring about the change in their course, in their branch, in their institution. Every management can look into it. I'm sure most of the managements are looking into it. If we have to be our own brand, our own university, our own system, you have to attract talents. We will give them the choices for them. We will be there to facilitate. We'll have to help them. We are only a facilitator. So for that, we need to identify. Right in the morning session, we identified certain key insights. How do you recruit? How do you retain? What is the continuous teaching learning process? What is the continuous training required? If we have to bridge the gap in the industry, whether the faculties are exposed to the industry standards, ever-evolving industry standards, which is a mechanism, whether the mechanism is inside or outside the system. Regulatory bodies and any other bodies can give you a parameter, priorities, but much beyond, it is internalizing. Every guru is a powerful entity. Every guru has to evolve, has to adopt, has to think, and then contribute to the team. I'm sure many of our colleagues today during the later part of the discussion will share their insights. And together we can and we should. It's high time we are getting ready for the future. The priority sectors, the roles and responsibilities which this country has to have the possessing, the talent to take on with the opportunities of the whole world. Right? So without taking much time, without taking much aspects to be placed in front of you, I'm sure most of you will add more value to the entire gambit of academia. Thank you, one and all.
So that was too quick. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for Chandran sir.